Everyone has likely dreamed of taking control of their life, right? It doesn't matter where you are, what your circumstances are, how old you are, or what your gender or marital status is. The most important thing is that you can master your own life. Not just mastering yourself, but also mastering your work, relationships, health, family, and even finances. So, how can you take control of your life? Below are 3 important steps that I have applied and experienced, and they will help you create radically different results in your life. Step 1. Find a successful role model. To take control of your life, the first thing you need to do is find a role model. Someone who has already achieved what you want in life. This could be a mentor, a leader, or a successful entrepreneur. Do not hesitate to learn from them, model their actions, and adopt their successful habits. For me, I found my role model in my mentor, Mr. Blessinger. He taught me invaluable lessons about public speaking, coaching, sales, and interpersonal skills. The most important thing is that he had already achieved what I aspired to, and I modeled my path after him. He was a man who demonstrated the art of success, not just through words, but by showing me the methods, habits, and ways of thinking that contributed to his success. In your own life, find someone who embodies what you wish to accomplish and learn from their actions, thoughts, and behaviors. It could be someone from your industry or even someone you admire from afar. Their path can serve as your blueprint. This concept of finding role models is not new. Historical figures like Benjamin Franklin and Steve Jobs, as well as modern-day leaders like Elon Musk and Oprah Winfrey, have all had their own mentors and role models who influenced their thinking. For example, Elon Musk learned from innovators like Richard Feynman and Larry Page, which greatly impacted his career trajectory. By modeling their strategies, attitudes, and work habits, you can shorten your learning curve and start implementing techniques that have proven to be effective. Step 2. Immerse yourself fully in the role model's path. Once you have identified a role model, it is time to fully immerse yourself in their journey. Dedicate your energy, time, and focus to learning everything you can from them. This means you must not only understand their external strategies, but also embrace their mindset and lifestyle. Imagine you are learning to swim in the ocean. At first, you might feel uncomfortable or uncertain, but as you dive in, fully submerge yourself and begin to trust the process, the water will support you, and you will start to feel the rhythm. The same principle applies when you dive into the life of your role model. When you are fully immersed, you stop questioning or doubting the process. You simply learn by doing. I recall a time when I was in Singapore, attending a training program with my mentor. It was a huge leap for me. Coming from a background of limited knowledge, I initially struggled. But by immersing myself in the environment, pushing myself to understand new concepts, and actively participating in the process, I began to learn faster and more effectively. This idea of total immersion is essential for growth. Just like a sponge absorbs water, when you immerse yourself in your role model's world, you will naturally absorb the knowledge and strategies that lead to success. The immersion needs to be all-encompassing. It's not just about learning a set of skills, but about adopting a new way of thinking and being. It's the same concept seen in the stories of successful athletes like Michael Jordan, who not only practiced skills but lived and breathed the mindset of excellence. Jordan didn't just practice basketball, he became basketball. He focused not only on his craft, but also on the mental discipline, perseverance, and mindset of champions. This immersive approach is the key to fast-tracking success. Step 3. Repeat with greater intensity. The final step to mastering your life is about repetition, doing it over and over again with increased intensity. Repetition is essential for mastering any skill, and it is especially important when you are working to become a better version of yourself. The power of repetition is seen across many areas of life. In sports, athletes train daily to perfect their skills. In business, entrepreneurs don't just try things once and give up. They refine their strategies and keep repeating the successful actions. For example, in the world of sales, the most successful salespeople are those who are persistent. making thousands of calls, facing rejection, and then repeating the process until they achieve their goals. For me, this repetition came when I started modeling my actions after my role models, like Tony Robbins and others, and pushing myself harder than they did. They might have held one seminar, but I would aim for 5. They might have given one presentation, but I would give 5. The key is not just to repeat the process, but to do it at a higher level with more focus, energy, and consistency. In fact, Tony Robbins is known for hosting over 70 seminars throughout his life, each filled with actionable advice and motivation. However, what sets him apart is not just the sheer number of seminars, but the consistency and intensity with which he delivers his content. The same can be applied to you. If you want to achieve extraordinary results, you must repeat the process not once, but many times, and with greater commitment. How to apply these steps in your life? So, how can you apply these 3 steps, finding a role model, immersing yourself in their methods, and repeating with greater intensity, into your life today? Step 1. Identify your role model. Start by asking yourself, who has achieved what I want? Is it a successful entrepreneur, a health coach, a leader in your field? Write down their names and study them. What did they do to get where they are? What are their core beliefs, habits, and routines? This research is your first step toward mastery. Step 2. Immerse yourself in their world. Once you've found your role model, dive into their teachings, their habits, and their approach to life. Attend their seminars, read their books, and implement their practices into your daily routine. This is not a surface-level engagement, but a full commitment to absorbing everything you can. Step 3. Repeat, but with more intensity. Repetition is the key to mastery. Every day, commit to applying what you've learned, but don't just go through the motions. Go deeper, push harder, and do it consistently. Remember, it's not just about repeating. It's about doing so with more intensity and commitment than your role models did. Final thoughts. Mastering your life is not an easy journey, but it is an achievable one. By following these 3 steps, finding a role model, immersing yourself in their approach, and repeating with greater intensity, you will unlock your potential and create extraordinary results in your own life. Remember, it's not about taking shortcuts. The success you want requires time, effort, and patience. But by following these steps, you'll be well on your way to mastering not only your own life, but everything else you set your sights on. It's all possible if you commit to the process and keep pushing forward.